All right, good afternoon. It is the 25th of February 2024. Carnivore Ken here again, back for a walk and talk with my golden doodles. I happen to have a friend along for the ride. Hey, there's my buddy Jason. We're out a few miles. Overall, it's going to be about a 7-mile walk. Of course, I got my shirt off because it's sunny. And I am collecting some vitamin D from good old Mother Nature. Always remember, like I've always said time and time again, the more skin you have exposed, the more vitamin D your body absorbs. So anyways, what's been going on today so far? Well, we had a hardcore workout this morning. Did upper body. We did abs. Tomorrow will be a sprint day. We're going to do sprints, and then we're going to go in and do some abs and a leg workout. So we have our day full. My buddy here, Jason, he's just staying with us for a little while to get his workout on. Of course, he is a carnivore, a meat eater, just like myself, because carnivore is the way we feel best. It's the what am I trying to say? It's the optimal human diet, the appropriate human diet. Give it a try. After 90 days, you'll be thinking the same thing. It's the right way to go. You know, don't have to have, all the rainbow colors in your diet. You don't have to have fiber. It just doesn't need to be. I've been doing carnivore now for about 26 months. 26 months, and I'm not all clogged up or nothing. Zero fiber. So there you go. Anyways, looking at Mother Nature, we're out here on a walk, all the pretty birds all over the place. Down here in Georgia. We're thinking about the 67 million birds that die every year because of the pesticides that human beings put on their crops that they consume. Of course, all humans have to do is wash off those crops, and that makes them completely safe. At least that's what they want to tell you, right? Yeah. Anyways, life is good, right? I'm 64, and Jason, how old are you?
56.
56. Yeah. And Jason hasn't been carnivore as long as me, but he lost a ton of weight since he went on the meat eating diet. So it works, and it's you can stick with it, very easy because it's very satiating. You don't get hungry when you're a carnivore like you do when you're consuming carbs. Pouring those carbs down your throat, you're always hungry. That's why it's, just doesn't work. They say it works, but I mean, come on. They've been preaching, low fat, eat the rainbow, and Americans are just getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Metabolic problems. As far as us carnivores, is the number one cause of all diseases. It's all related to being the fact that you got ruined metabolism, and you start accumulating that fat around your midsection. Before you know, all that fat is infiltrating in your organs. You got a fatty liver. Just assume if you got a gut, whether you have a good cholesterol and good blood pressure or not, most likely you're going to end up getting a fatty liver. That's probably going to happen. So look down at your waist. Remember, one of the best things you can do for, you could be slim, of course, and you'll be, what do they call that? Fufu. Fat on the inside, skinny on the outside. I think I gave you the wrong letters, though, but, that's the way that is. So the bottom line is, if you want to be healthy, you got to try to be metabolically healthy. They, most cancers, what do they run on? They run on sugar and glutamine, supposedly. But, you know, let's just say they all run on sugar. Why not take away one source of their energy, all that sugar? And what is sugar? Well, sugar is carbs. If you eat white rice, what does it turn into? Sugar. If you eat potatoes, starchy vegetable, what does it eventually turn into? Sugar. What does sugar turn into? Just think about it. The more sugar, the more fat storage. A lot of people start eating carbs. Before you know it, you start getting puffy. You know, think about the carnivore diet. At the end of the day, your belly ain't sticking way out. You don't get bloated throughout the day. When I was eating carbs several years ago, I would sit down in the day and my stomach would be all bloated out. Wake up in the morning, the next day I feel a lot slimmer. Why is that? Probably because of a lot of inflammation from all that, you know, supposedly healthy food I was pouring down my throat. I am definitely a big promoter of the carnivore way because I know how great I feel on it. Wake up, don't even need coffee. I am full of energy right from the get-go. Sleeping wise, last night I went to bed around 10 o'clock. I didn't wake up till almost 5 a.m. this morning, straight through. So I'm feeling great. That's good sleep for me because I get up at 5:45. So the fact that I didn't wake up till 5 a.m., all those solid hours of sleep, something's working right, folks. So, you know, what can I say? The carnivore way of eating, the carnivore doctors will tell you, if beings just got out of their own way, you know, our lifespans would be way extended. The average human being should be living, according to the carnivore doctors, which is a much more positive message, between 120 and 150 years if we would just get out of our own way. And what does that mean? Yeah, you know, if you are just exercising and that's it, and you're not eating the proper food, you can get away with it for several years, but sooner or later it's going to catch up with you. You can't out-exercise a bad diet. I know. I exercised my whole life. And what happened my whole life? My weight fluctuated up and down, up and down, up and down, until I went low carb. And now, I'm talking since I went carnivore, it's really locked on. When I went keto, I lost a bunch of weight and I maintained it somewhat. Well, what did they do with keto? They started making all these keto foods, which are, you think you can eat them because they say keto. Keto bread, keto candy bars that you can eat. You know, the Quest bars that are keto friendly. That's all processed garbage. You know, if you're going keto because you think you're going to have more food choices and you're going to eat all that processed garbage and don't think it's going to be that good for you. You know, it's almost as bad as not being low carb when you add all that processed food garbage into your system. That's one reason why, you know, the vegans want to create all this pretend meat, and that, you know, that's never going to be acceptable to a lot of us humans, because that pretend meat is going to be a bunch of processed ingredients, this processed food slop that us people that want to be close to nature, we're just never going to accept. We are never probably going to accept meat made it inside a petri dish either. So, you know, Mr. Gates is going to have a hard time selling his petri meat. He wants everybody to eat. You know, I don't think it's going to work very well.
I should tell him, Ken. I should tell him that you did, because you're so hardcore. Ken's always been hardcore, folks. Ever since we were very young, working together in a prison system and very active workouts and that. When I say young, I was 22. He was 28, if that's the right number. And you know, we were doing the things most young people do, and working out hard and eating. And the hard thing is where you start, right? Because it gets a lot of pushback when you start doing something like this. So this is, for me personally, I really don't. Ken's trying to promote it and help people start. And with me, I was drinking real heavy every day. White tequila, my favorite. I'm wearing a Beck shirt. I didn't realize that. I'm wearing the
Beck
shirt.
shirt.
My last name is Beck. Somebody bought this for me. But anyway, 6 months ago I stopped. It's about 35 pounds overweight. And I'm tall and thin, as you can see, and always, got away with, no matter how heavy I was, I still look relatively thin, but just was feeling horrible, of course, especially from the daily drinking. And what I did, which I think, because so out of shape after all those years of being in shape, that I had to, I had to start real slow. And so all I did was I stopped the drinking. I was also chewing tobacco, so I went cold turkey, which was real difficult for the first 4 to 5 days. But when I got past that, I was just doing simple walks. I wouldn't eat till 2 o'clock, and then I would just stick with a meat diet. And it was really satiating, so I was able to not feel hungry and then repeat the next day, right? And sometimes you have to make choices when you're out or whatever, and I did that, but I tried to really concentrate on staying with the meats. And started out with, I tried to do 100 push-ups and 100 push-ups and a long walk. And then gradually, after about 2 months, I was doing 100 push-ups into 200 push-ups, and the walks got longer and longer. 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, 10 miles. I started to feel better, and that's all I did for the last 6 months. And then you just shed it after a while. And I didn't talk about it or tell anybody what I was doing, because when you're drinking, it's really tough. Once you're a real drunk for the rest of your lives, people identify that for you. So just tried to stay quiet. You don't want to let somebody down again, your family, people you love, because you've been so unsuccessful so many times. You don't know how to build anything up, so you stay quiet about it. And then what happened was, when you saw the weight gain, the skin color too, everything came back, and my energy rocketed back up. And so people would say, "My God, you look great," which is always hard to hear, because that means the last 10, 15 years, I looked horrible and thought to myself, I'm all right, but just not feeling good. So now you have all this energy. And again, as you can see, I'm a thin person, was always going to be thin. Sometimes I worry about being too thin. But at 56, the payoff with the energy is totally worth it. Also the mentality, my mental clarity. I don't know what's up with that diet, but Ken was doing it, so I thought I'd try it. And the clarity, just real clarity, calm.
Jason, it looks like the old Jason that I knew, 15, 20 years ago. I mean, he made a comeback. He was looking like an old man for a while, but looks way younger. Looks great.
Yeah. So just start simple, is what I'm trying to tell you. Just start taking walks. See, even get 100 push-ups a day. And also the fasting works really well for me anyway. So I'd wait to eat. I had heard, or somebody said, to wait to eat till like 2 o'clock. And that's when I'd eat, and it actually made the meals, really better.
Yeah, what the fasting does, obviously if you're not putting anything in your mouth, your body is going to use the stores of energy that is already inside the body. So the fasting forces your body to tap in to the energy sources to fuel you till you do consume again. Now, when you go vegan, when you go keto or carnivore, it's your body, you are becoming, instead of burning glucose all the time, or being a sugar burner, you become a fat burner. So, it all just kind of like snowballs off of each other. You get more and more lean, more and more energy, from becoming a fat burner. You feel better and better. And your body, it's still going to burn glucose, because it's going to make its own glucose through glucose neogenesis. But it's not gonna be, when you consume carbs, you are becoming a sugar burner. So before you can even, if you want to lose weight, before you can start tapping into your fat stores, you got to burn all that sugar off. So if you really, want to trim up your physique, the way to go is to get rid of the sugars coming in through your mouth. And you got any more things to say, Jason?
Well, I'd just say, just start slow, because it's a hard thing. I think you're rewiring your brain. How you eat, how you partake in your day. Plus, you're going to have all these obstacles with other people still doing their normal thing, and so you don't make a big deal about it, and
Nope.
and you try to kind of go low keel, and you'll know you're on the right track because they'll say things. They'll be like, "Oh my God," and guess what? The 5 push-ups at a time, gained 50. After 6 months. And then I had a renewed energy. Now I'm getting more aggressive, and the energy level is up, so I can do all of that. And the eating now is just something that I purposely do. Nothing I don't really have to think about it. There's no measuring. There's none of. I just look for a meat. Like if I just traveled across the country from North Dakota, and on the way here, when I'd want a meal, I could stop in at one of the gas stations and just take 2 cheeseburgers and eat the meat and cheese. It sounds crazy, but it was enough. It was fine. It cost me about $8.
Yeah, remember that when you do take on this way of eating and living and loving Mother Nature, you can't convince anybody that you're doing the right thing. How you do convince them, or maybe raise an eyebrow, is when they look at you every day and physically, obviously, you're getting leaner, maybe you're getting more muscular, and you're just feeling great. Don't try to convince them that this is the way. What will convince them is results. Because it's hard for people to give up all their food that they love. But for myself, I love a juicy ribeye steak. It's not hard for me to give up other things that, of course, they taste great, but it's not that big of a sacrifice when you feel great by what you're doing. And like Jason said, the mental clarity is off the chain. I mean,
that's a real deal. And the other thing is, you saw Ken's videos, is this one. So, I did some drugs not back in the day, fairly recent. And the cocaine high, right? That cold plunge. Oh my God.
yeah.
Start that off. I started that off in the beginning of the day. Up in North Dakota, you can fill your bathtub. It's minus 20 up there, or it was just recently. In these cold plunges, you come out of there, just the endorphins are kicking. And
those things make you feel great.
It's so hard to do, but because of the payoff, you start to rewire your brain. You're like, I want to feel that good for that 2 to 3 hours, and really kickstart the day. Also, it's kind of facing some of the difficult things too. You do that a lot. You start to get used to facing difficult challenges. It seems to carry over even mentally to when I have to face difficult situations with people. Have more clarity. I feel better. I don't, knee-jerk react to somebody as much too. It's been all around good. And the point again is, I haven't been telling anyone. I told family members I'm not drinking anymore. But the combination of the diet, the cold plunge, the fasting, and these little, kind of stupid workouts, walking, some push-ups, have been noticeable to them in energy level, in attitude, everything. Obviously, the drinking is a big one, but even taking that away, if I hadn't started, I would believe, especially with the weight loss and the mental clarity I get from being satiated after I eat. That's a big one. You don't understand it until you actually experience it over time, and then you fall back and you have something full of sugar. You get that rush and that dump. Then you're like, that's what this is about.
And you get hungry. If you eat a bunch of carbs, you tend to get hungry in between meals. So you snack. Where when you're eating this true satiating diet, that doesn't happen. You really don't crash in between meals.
you're going to be able to focus and do the things you've always wanted to do and be healthy or have the energy to do it. In a real focus, you're going to feel proud of yourself because of the discipline that you're doing. You're showing, you know, for me, it was getting back to an old way of being disciplined, going after my goals. I couldn't do it anymore. It was just, I was just sitting around basically, and this was my kickstart. So,
you know, just one more thing I want to add is that I've known people that went on under other eating regimens, and they do get results. But what happens is that when you're measuring food and you're restricting the animal food, most of those people cannot stick with it. You know, I see, you know, people that go vegan that lose a ton of weight, you know, eating all their canned vegetables and all their other, you know, salads and rabbit food. You know, I saw a guy that I used to work with, remarkable results, looked fantastic. And then, you know, like everything else, if you can't eat that way and stick with it, which obviously this person couldn't, next thing you know, the big old belly bag is back around the midsection. And when you fluctuate like that, up and down, especially as you're getting older, that is just not good for longevity. So, you know, I just think you have to find a diet that, I don't even consider it a diet, to be honest with you. I consider it more of a lifestyle. You know, I am for the animals eating the plants, and we eat the animals. And is there anything to the 67 million birds that are dying from pesticides that humans put on plants? You know, maybe. I'm not a scientist. And of course, none of this is medical advice, but just kind of makes sense that maybe some of those chemicals are getting into our, you know, through those vegetables. We are consuming them. I don't believe you can just wash off those vegetables and have none of it absorbed inside, but that's just my opinion. Because obviously I'm a carnivore loving guy. So, all right, Jason, anything in closing?
You say take those baby steps. That's worked for me. So just start walking. Try to do 100 push-ups a day. That'll change your life right there. And you know, this isn't something that's going to be popular. You're going to get all this opposition, and really, you're after your own personal results. It's about you. And so I would keep it to myself and let the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, then you can become vocal afterwards and tell everybody how you did it and be happy to do it. So, but change is what we're all looking for when we fall into this state of, you know, fat, lethargic, non-goals, and you can renew that. He's 64, I'm 56.
There is no little, hey, I gotta take it easy because I'm old.
That
isn't the proper mindset.
Yeah, that's why the one thing, we're in our 20s pushing this, but we're older guys, and anybody older watching knows that, man, your body is on the way out. And so this is going to renew it, and even though we all know we're going to die and this meat suit's going away, but you could have a nicer ride. A little better ride, have a little more fun.
All right, guys, that's it.
Good luck to you.
All right, that's it. We're going to close this out. Have a beautiful day. Carnivore Ken out.